What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show. Joining me today is one of the most talented entertainers out there. Whether you've seen him on Saturday Night Live, you've probably caught one of his stand-up specials, or I'm certain you've heard one of the crazy impressions that he does. Nobody like him. And when it comes to entertainment, you know, he's built a career off making people laugh, while somehow becoming everyone from Denzel Washington to Stephen A. Smith in the process. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation. Please welcome my next guest, Jay Pharoah. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, sir? What is happening, Mr. Green? Mr. Draymond Green in the building, man.
Nothing much, brother. Trying to enjoy the last days of summer. Kids go back to school next week. Shit about to get back real.
Bruh, the summer went by in a twinkling of an eye. It was so quick. When we got to July 4th, I said, damn, ain't it crazy that it's the end of July already? And
Exactly. Because that's how it goes. You get to and it's over. It seems like these summers are getting shorter and shorter by the year.
Well, do you know the days are literally getting shorter though? That's not a joke though. Like literally the world is spinning, the axe is spinning faster. You know what I'm saying? So we losing like, I think it's like, was it nanoseconds or something off? Like every year it's more. So time is literally winding up. I ain't gonna get religious, but goddamn, you know what's happening.
Absolutely. Listen, I can feel it. It's funny because it takes me back to something that a mentor of mine, a good friend of mine, said during COVID. He was like, man, you know, older guy, 80 plus years old. He was like, man, like worried, like, man, we stuck in the house, we can't go nowhere, and this, that. And we was like, yo, it's cool, like, just calm down, it'll be. And he's like, nah, man, I'm gonna miss the summer. And he's like, we'll probably, they're saying we'll be in our home still for the summer. And he was like, I just don't know how many I have left. Like, how many summers do I have left? So to lose one summer, he's like, that's a lot because I just don't know how many of those I have left. You know, and when you put that in perspective of an 80-year-old man, it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And I start thinking about it like that, like, man, these summers are speeding up. It's
man.
And it took me back to that statement. And so, you know, I try to make sure I'm cherishing every bit of them, every moment, because like you said, they're literally getting faster. But I can feel that.
Can I ask you something? I've been wanting to ask you this. I mean, because I've been a fan, brother. I've been watching you for years, man. I think you one of the best, homie. But Draymond, why do you kick so many people in their testicles, man? What's up with that? Do you not? Do you?
So I have a question for you. How many people have I kicked there?
Man, I've seen about 7. I've seen about 7 people.
I think you've probably seen a compilation of the same thing happening 7 times.
Okay. So it was once. It was one time?
Because
it was only once?
I kicked someone there once, which was Steven Adams. I definitely did not try to get him there, but I did, trying to sell a call. You know, then in that same series, I went up for a layup and he's on top of me and he get hit with the knee. But in basketball, I don't know how much basketball you can play, Jay, but I'm gonna explain a layup to you. When you jump and you go up for a layup with the right hand, the right knee goes up. If you're above me, that's your fault.
Okay, all right.
You're in the personal space. If I do this, that's a natural layup, you know. And so, you know, they said, oh man, look, he got him again. Like, nah, that actually ain't even the same motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, Jay, what I will tell you is I've caught a couple, you know, guy there or something. I've stumped on the chest, you know what I'm saying? I've had but you know, there's always like, oh man, he kick a guy, like, nah, you know, like, by the way, you know what I also told him? I said, yo, even the kick they was talking about, Jay, I said, yo, my shin caught him. Yeah. Like on the kick that you say, like it's the middle of my shin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever partaken in any karate but you don't just kick with the shin. You use your foot. So if you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna place a kick on me, then at least place a proper kick on me. Like at least let me get my money's worth. Don't place the shin on me because if I'm gonna get fined for a kick, let me kick.
Listen. Let me tell you something, Draymond. You were. I gotta say, you were not as bad as Wemby is, because I don't know how in the hell people be around that dude, and he's like he purpose. It's something about the French. It's the French. That's what it is. It's that French etiquette. That's what it is, man. I don't give a care about you, American, and then they just go and then they. So you know.
Listen, I saw some things happen this playoffs with Wemby, and nothing happened. By the way, nothing came of it, which I must tell you, Jay, I was not shocked by. I wasn't shocked at all that nothing came of it. I also, I must say, I was actually a fan of nothing coming of it, because when I watched the San Antonio Spurs play, say the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, I'd much rather watch Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs, not the San Antonio Spurs sans Wemby. So be that as a basketball fan, I'd much rather see that. I was very happy that nothing came of it. I must say, just keep that same energy. That's it. You know, we just want you to keep the same energy. I want nothing to come of it. But, you know, when you see somebody take a ball like and take their and that, as someone who's hit some guys with some elbows in my day, that one's not unintentional.
Man, I can't wait for the next 3 years of the NBA when people will have steel chairs and cage matches and all of that, because that's what it looks like it's turning into. Honest to God,
Jay, it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the NBA world. I don't know if you follow it or not, but I think you follow the New York Knicks won championship this year. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Look. Shout out to the New York Knicks. The lowest because they won the lowest crime rate in ages in New York City.
So, are you a Knicks fan or a Sixers fan?
No, listen. I was in New York. It's Saturday Night Live, brother. First of all, I am from Virginia. We do not have a team. I don't know if you knew, but at one time we were supposed to get. I mean, of course, you got the Wizards, but that ain't us. That's DC. We don't got a team. Okay. We were supposed to acquire the Sacramento Kings like a few years ago, and it just never happened. They would have been the Virginia Beach Kings, and it didn't happen. So, from being on SNL for 7 years, of course, I was a Knick. I was going for the Knicks, but I am not going to lie to you. I did kind of want to see the father and son in the championship. That would have been monumental if it would have happened, but it didn't happen. However, I was rooting for the New York Knicks. So go ahead, sir. I'm so sorry.
All right. So, and speaking of you rooting for the New York Knicks, apparently in 2019, the Knicks were recruiting Kawhi.
Yep. Oh, really?
And there was an SNL style celebrity video that you were actually in playing Kawhi. This is what I heard. I have not seen the video.
Okay.
So I don't. Number one, is it true? And if it is true, how in the hell did this thing come together?
It's absolutely true. I think the Knicks were doing. They were trying to acquire. Yeah, they were trying to acquire him, and they, to put a little more incentive in front. They recruited me and also Keenan Thompson. I think Keenan was my manager in it. But yeah, I played Kawhi Leonard. I had the Harriet Tubman braids and everything, bro. Like, I'm gonna lie, bro. I love Kawhi Leonard, but it's just something. It's just when they freshly done, they don't look freshly done. They don't. It's him and who is it? Shout out to both of them, because Kawhi Leonard is a beast, as you know, one of the best. He's crazy. But he's got the Jim Jones braids. Jim Jones is the same way, bro. You see, boom, and then the braids be fuzzy. Why are they fuzzy? Did you roll around? I don't know if you used to have braids. I did when I was a kid. You know what I mean? My mother.
I definitely had braids.
Yo,
sure.
shout out. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like most of the brothers, when we were teenagers and millennials, we had braids. It was a thing. It was a fad, right? My mother would braid my hair. My hair was so thick and it was so coarse. She would braid it and it would cut her fingers. It was like braiding Brillo pads. She loved me that much. She had slices on her face. It looked like Edward Scissorhands had just come through and just danced the salsa with her or something like, right? So I know about braids. You know what braids are. When you get them freshly done, they look crisp for about a good week. You put your do-rag on it, you put the grease up there, you let it lay down, and you good for a week. Why in the hell? Did every time that Kawhi get his braids done, it looked like he had them a week and it's the first day? That don't make no sense to me. Shout out to him. If he heard that joke, he would probably laugh like this. I'm not gonna lie. The man is 6 foot. The man is 6'9", 10. How tall is Kawhi?
I think he like 6'7", 6'8".
Okay,
like
6'7". Okay, couple of inches. Hey man, wear some Air Forces and niggas be looking. They look taller. Anyway, shout out to him. He's one of the best players. I mean, even though I gotta say this, I watched San Antonio. The reason why this clique is so much more exciting is because they actually have moves. And if you look at the old San Antonio players and the way that they were coached, it's real basic. It's meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? There's no finesse. There's no and one tricks. Nah, it's San Antonio. There's nothing exciting about San Antonio. It's hot. You know what I mean? It's freaking hot. It's the stand was San Antonio. I love the people, but the weather is crazy out there.
Yes, it is.
The newer squad seems like they got a little more agility to them, which makes them more exciting to watch. You feel me?
I respect that. In 2019, when y'all did that video, Kawhi was actually leaving Toronto and ultimately left Toronto and went to the Clippers. But he was looking to make a free agent decision. And he went to the Clippers. He's headed back to Toronto now. Here we are 7 years later, apparently. Except there are some allegations out there that has put the trade on hold. I don't know if you've heard about those allegations or not, have you?
No, I don't know. I don't feel like Kawhi would ever have allegations for anything. I don't. He doesn't seem like an allegation type of guy. That doesn't seem like it fits his character. What's happening with him?
I agree with. There are some allegations that he and the Clippers circumvented the cap, and he's being investigated by the NBA. The Clippers, they're all being investigated, and the trade right now is on hold. But we'll see. But I just thought that was a full circle moment. Be that you were recruiting him to the Knicks in 2019, 2026, the Knicks win a championship. Kawhi's going back to where he left, and
he should have went to the Knicks. That's what you're trying to say. He should have went to the Knicks.
I don't know necessarily that he should have went to the Knicks, but if you had heard about the allegations, I was going to ask you, did he do it? But you haven't heard about the allegations, so you can't say.
I ain't hear that, man. Listen, man. Kawhi Leonard, he looked like he wouldn't, man. He don't look like he would do no Ponzi scheme type stuff. He don't look like that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, he a normal dude.
Straight as an arrow, man. Straightforward. That's what Kawhi seems like, man.
He like Martin Lawrence in life. Eddie Murphy was the one that did all the stuff, but Martin Lawrence was a straight. What did Eddie Murphy say? He said, hey man, he's a square, man. He didn't know what he was doing. He's a square. He didn't know what he was doing, man. He was just chilling. So whoever it is, I hope they find the person, but I don't think it was Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi did it. I
respect that. I respect that. Let's dig into your craft a little bit. Obviously you've grown quite the reputation for the hilarious impressions. When you first set out to start mastering these impressions. What's more important? Is it the voice? Is it the mannerisms? Kind of take me through your process that you go through. I think most people probably think you just like hop up and be like, oh man, I can sound like Denzel Washington. And I tend to believe that there's an entire process that goes into this. Can you walk me through your process of kind of mastering these impressions that you've become so famous for doing?
Well, the first thing that's most important to me is just being a fan of the person. Because if I'm a fan of you, I've listened for hours, I've watched you, and after that, after starting at the fan being the base, then it's the face, it's the face. I try to contort myself into the person. You know, I'm a theater kid, man. Draymond, I grew up in theater. I did role players. I did community theater in Norfolk, Virginia. Shout out to him, Hugh Copeland. He's the owner of that. I did it in school, school plays. So with me, it was always about becoming the character, So once you're a fan, once you get the face, then we start working on the voice. And most of the time, people's voices aren't too far off from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's voice is like a degree different. So like, for instance, I have an impression of you, but I have an impression of you because, I listen to Rick Ross and Doc Rivers, and you all have like a similar, it's like a similar voice. And it's just like this, and it's kind of like, it's like I got a sore throat, but I don't. This is really how I talk, and like so I start there. Nobody has ever done a Draymond Green impersonation in their history. I haven't seen it. If they do it, they're on Instagram somewhere, and between the maze of them. But I'm a fan, so doing that and really what I try to focus on, Draymond. I try to focus on envisioning the person saying the same thing that I'm saying at the same time in my mind. So in my mind, it's like an AI picture of somebody, and I'm like I'm contorting and doing the voice and becoming the person, and that's how it starts. And dude, my first impression was Gilbert Gottfried, the Iago when he was in Disney, Aladdin. You know what I mean? So I just like it's Gilbert Gottfried, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then it was Sally Field and Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump. And then it was all the Cartoon Network characters and Looney Tunes and Nickelodeon. I did Nickelodeon characters as well. I just remembered. I used to do Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. I used to do Filbert. I used to do Tommy Pickles. I used to do Chucky. I used to do all of these guys. And then it shifted into like celebrities. You know what I mean? Like your Bernie Macs and all that. Like I love Bernie Mac. Like Bernie Mac is my top size. Like there's nobody like him. Let me tell you, motherfucker, what the hell it is. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. I can't say what the hell I want to say because motherfucker might get mad. People really sensitive. It really generates a real coochified. You know what I'm saying? When I say coochified, if I go like this, it's gonna be wet. You know what I'm saying? So but for me, it was all about just becoming the person. You know what I mean? Because that's been my gift. That's what God blessed me with.
You named a couple names I've never heard of. So to hear that you take it that far back is even more impressive. Like, at what age did you actually get into like doing these impressions?
I was 6 years old. 6.
So it's been a lifelong thing.
32 years, brother. 32 years I've been doing this. It was either do this or work at Burlington Coat Factory. I think I made the right decision.
I think you made the right choice.
Yeah, I did work there. Shout out to Burlington Coat Factory, but yeah, I'm not there. I'm here now, baby. You know what I'm saying? Prime time.
Speaking of working, how have you been able to monetize the impression side of it, right? Like obviously comedian, actor, all of the things, but how, like, I think I've gotten into this business a little bit. My wife's an actress, and which sparked my interest into the entire business. But then you start to learn about the business and the voice acting side of it, right? Like I think most people don't quite understand what goes into the voice acting side of it. Have you been able to monetize being able to get into all these different characters and all these different voices? Have you been able to monetize that from a voice acting standpoint?
Absolutely, absolutely, Draymond. Let's talk about number one. Now, one of the best animated films, if you understand his voice, I'd have to explain it like I'm explaining it. Yeah. There's a movie called Sing where your boy plays the grandpa elephant of Tori Kelly. Yep, that was my actual grandfather's voice I was impersonating, making money there. You can also talk about Legends of Chamberlain Heights. Short season, two. Shout out to Devon Shepard. That was 2 seasons. You can also, if you want to talk about now, more contemporary, we can go into Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad, or you can see me as Bulletproof on Invincible, because I am a superhero in cartoon form. Now, I'm working on the physicality. I have what they call Terry Crews tits. You understand? And everything under the jacket is all good, boo-boo. You understand? I'm just waiting to unveil it. Also, I am in the Call of Duty game, Infinite Warfare, in Zombies and Spaceland as Andre. He looks like 50 Cent. I don't, but my character looks just like 50 Cent. And I have to be honest with you because the world is full of fallacy, you know. So I'm going to tell you the truth. If I don't get my character on Call of Duty, I turn it off and I reset it again because I gotta play as myself, boo-boo. You understand? No, I'm being facetious when I say that. I play as 3 other characters, but you know, I really do like playing. It's nothing. There's nothing more cool than being able to go into a studio, create something like that, and then interact with it. Or when your cousins are telling you that, you know, you're on one of their favorite shows and they forget everything else you've done, but they just talk about Invincible is my favorite show. Or if you have little kids that come up to you and say you were the grandpa elephant, and you've seen their reaction in the theaters, and it just makes you feel good, bro, because you know what it is. As an entertainer, God put you on this earth for a reason. You are supposed to take pain away from people for that amount of time that they're watching you. You're supposed to make them forget. So I have a good time making people forget about their problems, which the Lord has blessed me in a position to do. So, man, yeah.
No, that's incredible.
Brother.
Like I said, I had no idea all that goes into, which is why I asked this question from a standpoint of my knowledge before I started kind of getting into the business side, because I had no clue. And watch, like all the cartoons that I grew up watching, I had no clue what went into making that character. You know, I had no clue for a long time as a kid that, like, yo, that's a real voice behind that character. You know, it's not just some thing they animated on the computer and that's the voice of Doug Funny that you're listening to, or that's the voice of Tommy on Rugrats. Like, you know, growing up as a kid, you just think like, oh man, that's that character's voice. And, you know, and learning the business and kind of figuring that side of it out. And also just, again, in speaking to what I've learned a lot through my wife and acting and the different methods of an actor, right? Like but more importantly, how you all drop into character, and like really get into like become this character. Like I think what people don't understand is when you're watching TV, the best people they become this person. You know?
Yeah. I'll give you a good example of a person, Robin Williams. If you would watch him in the booth, he was animated. everything that he did, he was super animated. Yes. When you have that type of performance and you apply it to an animated character, your personality bleeds into the character. So people can they're literally looking at you. Even when I did sing, they did capture. They were capturing. They were videotaping the whole time because they wanted to see, where my face, if I would say something, how the character would do it, and they merged it together with the actual character, man. And that's why I think one point I said, woo yeah, I said, woo yeah. And you can see this old grandpa character moving like me, like this with his hand. Shout out to my mom, because I took that line from her. Because that's how she sings. I got one of the mothers that just follow the note with a singer. You got one of them? You know what I'm saying?
My mom be really singing her ass off.
Yep. I'll be like, yo, this is gratuitous. You don't have to just sing. You know what I mean? But there it is. There it is. When you're really into it and you're really feeling it and you're making something special, you can't help but submerge yourself into the character like that. You can't help but do it, bro. Also, 1,000%. I also got one of the mothers that do this with the if she asks you if you're clean and she just take a finger and run it across, she'd be like, see that dust right there? If you clean, then why is there dust? I'll be like, cause you don't have nothing to do but check what I'm doing. You have no life. You have too much time on your hands. That's why she goes like this and just looks. That's not clean. You see that? There shouldn't be any dust. Why is there dust, Jared? Why is there dust, Jared? And she's from New York too. My mother's from Brooklyn, Bedside, Brooklyn. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I respect it. But then speaking of dropping into character, do you ever find yourself like
lost?
Stuck for hours? Like you've all of a sudden been in this. Say you've been for said reason, you were working on something and you've been doing Denzel impression for the last 2-3 hours. Do you ever find yourself stuck in these impressions or like stuck getting out of the character from whether that's voice acting or whether that's kind of in character, just you in front of a camera in character? Have you ever gotten into these, like obviously the extreme of it is Heath Ledger, right? Like that's the ultimate extreme of dropping in a character and not being able to get out of it. But have you in some of these characters, whether it's voice acting, impressions, or whether it's just you actually acting in front of a camera, found yourself struggling to get out of the characters?
I'm definitely like Gerard Butler's voice. I was just trying to master it. If I try to master somebody and I feel like I haven't mastered, even though people are like, yo, it sounds good. I'm not like, I do music, bro. Like I do music. I grew up around it. My parents were musicians. My sister played piano. She sings. Like, so it's got to sonically be right. So I tried for so long. I was stuck in Denzel's voice and I was trying to get him down. I was trying to get it down and I couldn't get out of him, right? I was just talking like him the whole time. I couldn't get out of it. Because when you're good, they tell you that you're good, but you don't feel that way. Until you feel that way and it's solidified, you got to solidify it, right? It's all about the solidification. You got to solidify it. And when it's solidified, then you can talk like yourself. But until then, you got to stay in that character, nigga. You understand? That's what you got to do, right? You got to stay inside of the character.
If you've ever run a business, you know that legacy banking is often the biggest bottleneck to actually getting work done. I remember the frustration of having to play phone tag with a representative just to verify the status of a simple domestic wire, or the headache of context switching between 5 different tabs just to reconcile a vendor payment. But banking on Mercury is different. It's fast, intuitive, and works exactly like the best-in-class software you already use every day. It's free to get started with no in-person visits or minimum balances, and you get free same-day ACH, USD wires, and checks right out of the box. Whether you're a solo founder or managing a growing team, Mercury flexes to fit your needs, allowing you to automate away the busy work. You can scan bills to pay them instantly, set up recurring payments, and grant your team customizable permissions so you aren't the bottleneck for every small expense. It's a powerful all-in-one financial home that lets you see exactly where your business stands without digging for data. Visit Mercury.com to learn more and apply online in minutes. Mercury is a fintech company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Banking services provided through Choice Financial Group and a column NA members FDIC. Has meeting or hanging out with a celebrity, whether it's a Denzel or Morgan Freeman, President Obama, Brian, Michael Strahan, athletes. Have you met some of these people and it ultimately then changed the way you kind of saw how their impressions should be given off?
Most of the time, yes. When I met Shannon Sharp, well, even before I met Shannon Sharp, I changed my impression up because at first, it was just it wasn't even really an impression. It was just me doing somebody who had a thick accent, was doing thick, and it was somebody who was sick. And when I refined it and I got into the character, I think when I really studied. It really helped me. And meeting him, after I met him, it really got better. You know what I mean? Because, man, why you want Mr. Meeks? Why you want Mr. Meeks? Come on, Jay. Why you want Mr. Meeks? Look, Skip. I'm going to say 5 things, Skip. I'm going to say 5 things, Skip. 5 things. Are you ready? 5 things, Skip. The Knicks will never win. And it happened. But meeting him, I think another example, when I met Kanye West, I finally met him. My impression got better. He called me one time. And he talked to me about it after the MTV Awards. But when I first met him, his people told him that I did Jay. So I did Jay for him. And he said, yo, that's insane, bro. I don't even know how you did that, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. Like he sounds like Jay, bro. Like big homie. He sounds like Jay. That's crazy. How did he do that? And then when I saw him, I said, oh, Kanye's kind of he's like a kid almost. He's like an excited kid. So I added that to the impression, and it just got better. So it does help when you meet the people. I met Jay-Z, called me fake Jay-Z. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, that's what he called me. Yeah, what up, fake Jay-Z? Yeah, he's a fake one. Yeah, you're not real. Made in China. He's made in China. Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious.
So,
that's
hilarious. Man, it works. It definitely does work.
That's kind of the ultimate compliment, though, to be called fake Jay-Z by Jay-Z.
Hey, man, shoot, give me a fake Beyonce, nigga. We'd be good, goddamn. Give me that. I take a fake Rihanna. Nigga, it was something, goddamn. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it does help. It really does. And everybody's been cool about it, man. Nobody has really had any gripe with it, any problem. I mean, of course, Shannon said what he said. He thought that when I first did it, I didn't sound like him. And then I got into it and I started. Kanye, of course, had his words to say. And, everybody else, man, everybody else loves it. There's no problem with anybody else. So.
And speaking of comedians, just kind of moving in that direction, some of the best comedians of all time, you've impersonated them. Chris Rock,
yes, sir.
Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, Bernie Mac. Which of these comics would you say influenced your style of comedy the most? And I think also could be different. Who's your favorite?
Man, wow, that is a layered question, but it is not too hard to answer. I got a top 5, okay? And you can't put Richard Pryor in your top 5 because Richard Pryor is like he's like the cloud above everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say Eddie Murphy, of course, Eddie Murphy. And he definitely inspires me style-wise. Chris Rock definitely inspires me style-wise. Dave Chappelle definitely inspires me style-wise. Bernie Mac and Robin Harris. People don't even give Robin Harris a lot of love, but if it wasn't for Robin Harris, there would be no Bernie Mac. If it wasn't for Robin Harris unfortunately passing away, then Martin would have never hosted Def Jam. he was supposed to have that gig. You know what I'm saying? I think the quickness that Robin had, the wit, the crowd control, I think that's something that can't be imitated like he did. However, the closest person I would say will be Bernie Mac, because Bernie Mac is just, he didn't even put out a full special yet on the Kings of Comedy. His set is one of the best sets ever recorded. You know what I mean?
What? You heard that motherfucker, Bobby? You seen that motherfucker, Bobby? One of the best sets.
Yes.
Bar none.
Ever, bro.
That's
and
a
people
fact.
and I gotta give a special shit. I'll say this. These are the top 2 specials of all time to me. Top 2 specials of all time to me. Eddie Murphy Delirious and Richard Pryor Live. Not the one he had on the suit, the one where he had on the suit shirt, the gold shoes, the black pants, and did he have a suit? Did he have the gold? Maybe he had on the gold shoes on that one. Maybe that might have been a bit of different one. But he had the red silk shirt and the black pants. And he was talking about the monkeys. He said he bought monkeys and they be humping his ear and it feel like wet Q-tips. I said, yo, this dude is insane. That set inspired Delirious. If it wasn't that one, you would have never got Delirious. And Eddie Murphy put everything into that special. I think the best comedians can do everything. The best, not to say that, hey, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, they do characters, you know. Chris Rock he'll do a little impersonation. He's still one of the greatest of all. He's one of the greatest comics of all time to me because of Bigger and Blacker and Bring the Pain. Those 2 specials alone solidified him for that. But I think the best of the best comedians can do family stories. They can do impressions. They do callbacks. They can talk about political views if they want to. They can talk about just growing up. They characterize their people. I think the best people do that. Kevin Hart is good at that. He characterized his pop. He made him, you know what I'm saying? You were allowed to do it. Like, that's brilliant, bro. Even the people, forget people talking the smack that they talk, whatever. You can say whatever you want to about that man. But listen, numbers do not lie. And talent is evident. You understand? Kevin is one of the best because of his work ethic. He's one of the best because he gives back. He's one of the best because, of course, he can do characters. And he's one of the best because he knows how to make a special. He knows how to do it.
Yes, he does.
You know? You don't come out with that many specials. And God dang it, and it's hard because I could say top 10 because Katt Williams to me.
Yes, sir.
Katt Williams to me is one of the greatest comedians ever. Ever. Oh man, Pimp Chronicles was 30 minutes, bro. People don't even realize that. Pimp Chronicles was only 30 minutes. It was a 45-minute DVD. He did the dip set there. He went out and did a dance. That ain't part of the set. You can't count that. It was no joke.
That's a fact.
And he had the backstage footage and the footage of Cam putting it. That was a 30-minute set, bro. And it just popped because he's brilliant. He's one of the best. So, to me, out of everybody, the best comedian of all time to me, and I'm not saying Pryor, like I said, he's up here, it's gotta be Eddie Murphy to me. And he inspired me the most, I would say that, bar none.
I love that. That was very thorough. I appreciate that. Last one before we get out of here. I know we got to roll. As an actor and a stand-up, I think so many times I've seen people in acting get typecast. How have you and your team navigated you not getting labeled purely as an impressionist?
Okay. All right, Draymond. Well, it's I think it takes people who are in positions of power to be able to see the talent that it does take to be able to compile an impersonation together. I'll give you an example. I did a movie with Steven Soderbergh called Unsane. It's a psychological thriller. I don't do any impressions in that. The reason I got that role was because Matt Damon showed Steven Soderbergh my Denzel Washington impersonation in 2011. He did it years ago. After 2011, I think I did it on SNL in 2010. I did it a couple times, 2010. And Matt Damon he said he showed Steven Soderbergh. And when I talked to him, when he approached me for the role of Nate in this movie Unsane, you should check it out. It's really good. Claire Foy's in it. Also Joshua Leonard. He said, I knew you could act because for somebody to be able to impersonate somebody like that, you got to pay a lot of attention to tics. You got to pay attention to body language. You have to pay attention to the voice. So you're a very studied person when you do that. And he gave me the role for that. Now on the other side, I've done auditions with certain actors, and after the audition, they're like, "Man, that Denzel that you do," I'm like, "I ain't getting this role." I think my team has done a fantastic job of, trying to find me roles that just show more of the bountiful talent, because it definitely, first of all, it takes more than just being able to do a voice to become a person. You know what I'm saying? And when you are so good at it and your clips go viral, God, I mean, I love the TikTok checks and all this that come through. And I've made a lot of people money because all them YouTube videos that get put up, nigga, I don't get no change for that. You know what I mean? They got millions of hits, and I don't get no money from that. But I think it's just my team always trying to think outside the box. The only time I would say that we probably haven't thought outside of the box was when Devon Shepard brought me a role with the movie I did with Katt Williams, 2 Minutes of Fame. Where I played a YouTube, an internet comedian who was coming up, who was real good at voices. And I ain't really gotta act for that. I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Because I started doing stand-up, and then I started putting my stuff on YouTube, and then I started getting attention like that. You know what I mean? So I knew what that was. But every other character, every other role that we have that I have been able to play, I have been somebody different. Even if you look at the Christina Milian movie that I did, Resort to Love on Netflix, or you look at The Blackening. I'm in the beginning, I die, whatever. I'm gonna be back. It's just they're different. They're different, man. That movie with Christina Milian, I was playing a fiance. I was playing her ex-fiance, and she was a singer, and it would seem like her career, that was who she was married to. And at the same time, a year before that, or I think might have been 2 years before. No, it was a year before I shot that. I was dealing with a singer, and it seemed like that was her, and it was the same story. And I thought she was the one. I was gonna do it. But it's like, yo, your career is your husband. You feel me? So I knew where to come from. And it was emotional. I cried. Your boy cried. You know what I'm saying? I had some tears. But it's because, life imitates art, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's not, or is it art imitating life? Or is it art imitates? It's both, actually, if you think about it.
I was about to say, I think they're interweaved both ways. Like,
yes,
it's hard to separate the two.
Yep, life imitates art imitates life, brother. So, my team has done a good job of just having me play all of these different roles over the years, and I could list more, but I'm like, damn, man, I didn't give you a few that y'all probably haven't seen yet. I mean, I know somebody done seen it, but some of them on Netflix. Hey, 2 Minutes of Fame is on Tubi now. You can check that out. It's not a Tubi movie, but it's up there now. I would rather you go to Amazon and check it out. I would rather you see it on Amazon. Your boy get a little bit of I get a little bit of for that. You know what I'm saying? But
Check that out on Amazon for sure. And by the way,
check it out. Yeah.
Lastly, you're getting close to the season 3 finale of your show, The Quiz with Balls on Fox. What have you found to be most challenging about hosting a show? You've done all these things, acting, impressions, comedy, all the things you've done. Hosting a show is a different thing. I don't think people realize how different of a thing that is than just acting or getting in front of a camera. What have you found most challenging about that, and what's been the most fun about it?
The most challenging part about it is finding the connection quickly to everybody. Because, you know, when you're hosting something, people can tell when you care about folks and they can tell when you don't care about folks. It always spills on screen very easily. I'll give a good example. Steve Harvey, you always feel like he's connected to the folks. He's always connected to because he's making jokes about them, little things, fun things going back and forth. He's connected. He's good. He's good at taking people that he just met and making them feel like he's known them for years. So for me, that was the most challenging thing at first. Now, this is our 3rd season. So now I'm pretty, it's like, you know, it's like dribbling now. You feel me? I got it. But at first, that was the hardest thing for me because, you know, I'm like, first of all, I'm an introvert. That's one thing. Most of us are. Most comedians are introverts or whatever, real quiet or whatever, until they have to perform. But being connecting with those folks and trying to find that and showing that on television, that was the hardest thing. The easiest thing for me is just improv. That's the easiest thing for me. You know what I mean? It's nothing because when something happens in the moment, as the host, you have to talk about it. You literally have to talk about it. And if you don't talk about it, well, then, you know, you might have some Nick Cannon in you. I'm playing. I'm joking. I love Nick. Nick does a fantastic job. That is my guy. I love Nick Cannon. I'm just joking. But just being able to be quick and off your head, you know, I think I've been trained for that ever since the beginning. Even before I did comedy, doing theater, you have to be ready for whatever. Dude, when I was 9 years old, my teacher put me up to play Powhatan, knowing that I didn't know the lines. Bro. And he still said, you go out there and do it. And when I froze up, the kids in the back, they had to feed me lines, but it was, you know, everybody was adjusting. So it was the improv part of it that pulled me through. And I got to say something about that teacher before I go any further. Okay. When I did this play in 11th grade. It's called Damn Yankees. Yes, I played Mr. Applegate. Okay. I played Mr. Applegate, and 2 weeks before the show went up, the lead dropped out. You know, the lead dropped out. He was a butthole. I'm not gonna say his name. He'll love it. He'll put it on his Facebook. He'll clip it. He'll do a whole bunch of stuff. But he quit. And Miss Schuler, my teacher, she said, I want you to do it. I said, all right, cool. So 2 weeks, I memorized all these lines because I did not want the same thing to happen that happened when I was in 4th grade playing Powhatan. I didn't want that to happen. So I got those lines down cold. Opening night, guess who was in the audience and guess who came up to me after the show? Mr. Sammons. He said, I saw it in you when you were 9 years old. I was just trying to pull it out of you, bro. He said, and I'm so proud of you. Look at you now. I said, hey, man. I'm saying, hey. Man, I'm about 6 foot now, and I appreciate that. It was such a beautiful moment, bro. But that's incredible. The improv. I've been trained to be an improver, and that's the easiest thing for me to do. And then, you know, giving away the money is easy for me because, you know, your boy got some. So giving somebody $100,000, it don't hurt. It's like, okay, cool, whatever, because it ain't coming out of my check. You know what I'm saying?
Little dough, got a little chicken. Man, make sure y'all check out the Quiz with Balls on Fox. Incredible. Jay, I can't thank you enough, brother, for coming on the show, man. You are one of the most talented human beings. Like,
oh man.
Like, incredible. When you're talking about the range of talent, like,
yeah.
When I think the first person I think of when I think range of talent is Jamie Foxx. Yeah. It's like Jamie Foxx, when you're talking just like complete range, and you are in that category when you're just talking about range of things someone can do, bro. So can't thank you enough for coming on the show, man. It's been a complete honor. I look forward to seeing you soon, bro. We always seem to run into each other somewhere.
Hey man, last time was the roast, brother. You know, hey, and shout out to you. You did a great job up there. It was, it was a couple of people up there. I said they shouldn't have been up there, but you did your thing, man. You did your thing, bro.
I appreciate that. I was up there nervous as hell, man. I appreciate you, bro.
You a natural, bro. And listen, you're one of the best, man. Thank you for the year. Thank you for years of entertainment. And I mean, I'm never gonna play against you. I'm never gonna play basketball against you because I'm trash. But if I was good, I would have loved to do a game of horse. For sure, brother.
My dog, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. If you're rocking with the Draymond Green Show, be sure to click follow on your favorite podcast app. And while you're there, go ahead and drop a 5-star rating and leave a review. I want to hear what you think, and it would also mean a ton to me if you share it with a friend that you think would enjoy it. Let's keep this thing growing. The Draymond Green Show is presented by Odyssey and executive produced in conjunction with the New Media. Our executive producers are Leah Reese-Dennis, Danny Friesinger, and Greg Holtzman. Video production and creative design by Kurt Courtney, Tim Meikle, Lauren Vieira, and Evan O'Brien. Special thanks to the team at the New Media and the team at Odyssey. Maura Curran, Josephina Francis, Hillary Schuff, Eric Donnelly, Kate Rose, Colin Gaynor, and Jake Galley.